we can start if you really want to.
It's really funny
I
you
don't feel
mentioned
like
that,
it.
because the moment you started saying that, I was like, fuck, now I have to bring the thing up, and now we're live.
Wow. Couldn't even get that great Professor These Nuts joke. You started now. Now I have to like awkwardly springboard off of that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another wonderful podcast. Where I'm here with my two wonderful co-hosts that are always here, and both are so talkative. I just you'll hear their wonderful voices now. That's right, guys. Exactly. We have a great evening.
I was gonna say, Kazu, now we can just never talk for the rest of this podcast.
I was gonna just not talk the whole time after you said that.
I was expecting both of you to pull the exact same joke, so I was ready to continue the bit straight through. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How's it going?
We have a wonderful podcast, and that's us complaining about gaming companies again, and why they make the decisions they do, and why we just hate everything because we're a bunch of little sourpusses who don't like media anymore.
I don't know about you, but I love media still.
Damn. Well, we're only telling lies here, as we all still consume media avidly.
How's it going?
What media have you gents been consuming this week? Slurping on?
Monster Hunter.
Damn.
Fragpunk and
Mabanogi.
Fortnite. Dude, it's
And
been a hot
Fragpunk.
minute. It's been a hot minute since I played some Fortnite.
It has also been a hot minute for me. I think it's because, I don't know, man. I got a taste of Fragpunk, and now I'm just like, I don't want to play any other FPS. Which is weird,
Man.
because fundamentally Fragpunk is the same as Valorant. But the changes to it make it more fun, in my opinion. Like, there's way more game modes that I can experiment with.
I know how you feel. Every single time I'm like, man, I could be playing the finals.
Oh, we're talking about fun games here.
Which, don't get me wrong, the finals is fun occasionally. Occasionally. Keyword.
Fun occasionally. Occasionally.
Yeah,
oh,
man. Team Deathmatch was pretty fun.
True.
Then they took it out.
Yeah, then they took it out.
they always put in such wonderful thing. Oh, am I muted? Am I not being heard? Oh no, that's even worse.
Damn. You know, actually, can we talk about that? How every time they implement a game mode in the finals, I'm like, dude, this game mode is sick. And then they fucking remove it. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh no.
Did you fix your muted problem?
I did. I fixed my muted problem. And now I started a podcast and I was not talking for a good portion of it. Thank God. Oh, it was only 3 minutes. That's okay.
3 minutes of everyone just hearing me and Kazu fucking
laugh, giggle, and everything. Oh yeah. God, that's even better because I had that stupid opening where it's just me talking and then nobody else talking, so it's just silent.
My God.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry about that.
He's not
hope
sorry.
Everybody's doing well.
He's
True.
not sorry.
I blame OBS. I don't know what it is, but it's every.
No, you can't blame OBS. They've always been here. You gotta blame Levi. He better.
And I blame your mama. True. Sorry.
If anything, that's the one thing I'm excited about is if Levi gets a new job and he has Thursdays free, we might actually have the 4 horsemen of the podcast back.
If Levi gets a new job and he's off Thursdays, he's getting bullied.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure he understands his place.
That man will know no God.
I like to think that we bring him in and we just don't explain anything else. He's just there now, and we don't explain that he was just there before and that he's back now. Just like here we are, all 3 of us back again, or all 4 of us back again, as it always has been and always will be. Oh God.
Every time I look at these streams, I realize how old my picture is in these.
It is pretty old.
Yes,
I'm too
Pretty
lazy to
old.
make a new one.
that's very fair. Honestly, I've been contemplating about making you a new piece of art, and I just want your character like hunched over with their arms crossed on a on like Pyramid's head, like the helmet, and then I was gonna give it the Metal Gear camo across it.
My favorite was
Hmm.
Levi's shitty fucking picture. It was like
Gold
the
wizard
the
one.
wizard, yeah, the wizard, but
Oh god.
he edited it to where whenever he would talk, the mouth would like detach from the picture.
Dude, it was so good. Oh, I should go back and try to find his old wizard picture and make that his new his new thing when it comes back.
Oh my
Just the
god.
old one he made for D&D would be perfect. The Star Wars update came out for Destiny. Damn.
The Star Wars update?
Yeah, they were bringing Star Wars stuff to Destiny.
Oh my god, they're trying to do anything to keep that game afloat, aren't they?
Well, well. Once your terrible boss is gone, maybe you can actually start putting good ideas in your game.
Fuck, it's genius. Why didn't I think of that?
Oh god, how much like most of the dude. Ubisoft is so fucking cooked. All I see is terrible people that I never see play games on TikTok playing Shadows, and they're promoting it, saying it's such a good game, and I'm like, God, it's gonna be trash when it comes out. Oh. It's a normal stormtrooper for Titan. Wait, does that
I'm
mean
so glad the update brought so many players to it. Look at
Let's go.
this.
I love that it just says 0. I enjoy the fact that it's probably just like the servers being down or something because I see the 24-hour peak, but it's really funny for it to just say 0 there.
Just an immediate drop to 0.
Oh god, the Death Trooper for Hunter, and then what's Warlock? Are they like are they a Jedi?
They're Yoda.
Dude, I'm gonna make a video about Destiny, about how it fell off, and I'm gonna use that screenshot of Destiny 2 with 0 players. Well, actually, hold on. I
Put
want
a
to talk.
big red circle on it with a giant arrow.
Are you sure
That
your
were
are you sure your career can handle any more hot takes on shooters?
also hold on. Can we talk? This pissed me off. All right, we need to talk about
Alright.
this dude Jack Sather made a video talking about the Where's that
It's
coming
good to
from?
be back. It is genuinely
Oh,
embarrassing.
The finals.
I
It's a
clicked on the
great
video.
game
No,
created by a company that it was.
I clicked on the
Sorry.
video and it started playing and I couldn't open it. So I was like, dude, and it literally just started blasting fart noises. I was like, what is happening?
Oh, what the fuck?
So
Listen, I wanted an honest opinion. I looked at his video and I was gonna go back and rewatch your video, but you know what happened to my surprise? Do you still
What?
have that video up?
Yeah, that's up right now. I'm not
Okay.
playing it,
I
but
no, I meant your video
oh
on the
my,
finals.
I didn't delete it, but I like made it private.
Privated. I
Yeah,
knew it.
because
I went to go look for it. I'm like, oh.
yeah, I privated it because it was genuinely just people fucking spamming the comments, being like, "Dude, fucking you suck, bro. Skill issue, bro. Pussy, fucking idiot." And I was sitting there like, dude, really? I'll just put this back up whenever people stop being fucking idiots about it.
And then you look at that guy's video where it covers the same fucking shit.
No, that's why I'm pissed. This Jack Sather, and you know, all respect to him, he's a cool dude. But like, he makes a fucking video with the same exact complaints I had about the finals, and everyone glazes him. But the moment I do it, because I'm a fucking indie VTuber, everyone's like, "Dude, you suck, bro. God, fucking
You wanna know the
idiot."
worst part is you did it first.
I know he released his fucking 6 days ago. I released mine like what, almost a month ago?
I think it's funny to think that he probably looked at yours, even though it's not likely. And he's
Dude.
like, "Oh, this is perfect. It's genius."
I
I think-
am so pissed because I talk about the same fucking shit But everyone is like, it's literally that fucking meme where it's like everyone hated Jesus because he was right.
Why are you booing when you know I'm right?
Yeah, and then this dude releases the same fucking video, and everyone is glazing it, and I'm just sitting here like, dude, what the fuck,
It's
man?
You're gonna try to give Destiny another try. Good luck, Lachlan. Tell me how it is when you get back from it. Tell me if they've actually started to improve. I know they're bringing back things and they're actually starting to work towards like some semblance of normalcy. I know I'm cutting you off from the finals.
I don't care about the finals.
And the finals is like the entirety of the argument comes down to the finals deserves what I feel like is a larger audience on PC, but I feel like the devs need to put more work into it. That
I
was it.
think the devs should go back to the beta build because that's when they know how to balance the game. Apparently,
Yep.
I think it's pretty well balanced right now.
no.
I will say it is more well balanced now than it was when the game released out of beta. And that's specifically because Light still had the stun gun.
Oh god, that's so true. What's gonna happen when the stun gun comes back next season? Oof.
It's coming back next season?
You know what's gonna be worse? Having to deal with lights that have a quick reload or assault rifle.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
fine.
gonna be awful.
I already deal with the M11.
I mean, the M11 is shorter range though, right? This is like an
It
actual
is.
assault
mean-
rifle, so it has
I mean,
better fall
the
off.
on the opposite end, everybody complains about the exact two opposite things. The light community complains that they're too squishy, and then everybody else complains that the lights do too much damage.
Yeah,
Which
no,
means,
it's
in essence, it balances itself out.
no. You
In
know how light.
essence, sure.
You know how you know what light players remind me of? It reminds me of that scene of Patrick when he ate all of his chocolate and he blamed SpongeBob. He was like, "You ate my only food. Now I'm gonna
No.
starve." And it showed his fucking egregious fucking melon of a belly. I was like, "Brother, you were over engorged. Why are you complaining?"
That's
It's
how I look.
it's also everybody complaining about how there's no healers or tanks and MMOs to party join, and it's only because everybody else is playing DPS.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something I need to bring up, but after I am done shitting on the finals.
All right,
Because
go
see,
ahead.
The
No,
biggest
Continue.
balancing change the finals can do is put class restrictions.
I
No,
agree.
that'd be terrible.
I would like
No.
class restrictions if it's at least you can't have more than 2 to a team. Like you can't have 3 heavies to a
I
team.
think
You
if
can't
you're
have
in
3
quick
lights to a
cash, you
team.
should have one of each class.
I
In
think
quick cache,
the
I think it'd be fine.
game. I think the game with such changes is pushing more towards serious, where I want it to be silly.
The game's not even silly anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to get back to silly.
It hasn't been silly since the beta.
This might be another issue though, is over time as the game's community winds down, the only people that are left are the ones who take it seriously. And I think that's the big issue is Zach wants the game to remain silly, but as time progresses, the game becomes more and more or less silly because of the community.
Well, that and they've just done patches and stuff that have forced it to be a little bit more of a serious game. But
Yeah.
also the problem with the game is that it's chaotic. It's a random game. You go into it and it's hard to be professional when the environment's just being absolutely destroyed, and you have, instead of just one other team to go against, usually another team to go against as well.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't help that there's still a lot of jank with the game that they haven't really fixed or worked on. Like vaulting is fucking horrible. Like it's worse than Fortnite vaulting. Genuinely, I will grab onto a ledge and try to jump up, and it'll fall right back down. And I'll try to do it 4 more times, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I might as well have just ran across the entire map to get over to where I was trying to get to. I digress, though. That's just like, I don't know.
See, talk to me when the finals is in season 10 and they actually do like the big changeover, just like Fortnite did.
I will say, Frag Punk is a lot of fun though. I do have a little bit of an issue with it, only because I fucking suck at it. Kazu knows. Whenever we were playing the other day, I was like, dude, why the fuck do I suck at this game? I would shoot someone and then they would headshot me and I'd die instantly. I'm sitting there like, fuck, dude, I suck at this game. Oh, also, that brings up another thing. Zach, do you remember when we were playing the finals and the moment I swapped to light, I was fucking annihilating people? Like with heavy, I usually go like something around like 8 and 5 or some shit. But when I switched to light, I was going like fucking 21 and 6. I was like, dude, this is not okay.
Oh, just because of like the clash disparity and how much kills you can get. But that's not
Yeah.
the problem though. It's an objective based game. You can get a lot of kills, but unless you're completing
This
the
was in
objective,
team
you're not
deathmatch though.
winning.
This was in team deathmatch when they still
Okay.
had it. Yeah, which the killing is objective based in team deathmatch.
I mean, I've also seen heavies get like 35 kills in team deathmatch. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Usually those are the people that are, they're playing fucking lame and also making the balance changes not look great by using things like the grenade launcher in close quarter areas where there's really not a whole lot of counterplay to the grenade launcher in close quarters. Like for example, if you put the grenade turret down, that removes them. That it only removes like 3 or 4 grenades. It doesn't account for the grenade launcher's actual capacity. It's almost
Yeah.
like the grenade launcher counters it.
I mean, it should. It's literally an APS turret. It can only handle so much. And if you have a grenade launcher, you clearly have more that could overwhelm it.
um, this might be a hot take. I actually think the APS turret should counter the grenade launcher.
I don't.
It does for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
For 3 shots exactly.
Yeah, it only like counters 3 grenades or anything.
Because
Hmm.
they eventually just do too much damage.
Also, Val said team deathmatch isn't a good example because heavies and mediums can easily top those lobbies as long as the team as a whole is working together.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that. However, also another counterpoint for Zach. I would argue that if you are doing extremely well in the kill category compared to the other teams in cash out, then you are by extension going to be doing a better job of holding the point or capturing the point because you're compared to the other teams doing a better job at keeping them out of
well,
your face.
I want you to know wholeheartedly that a good portion of my cash out experiences or my quick cash experiences have been me pulling the other two out of their holes and then winning the game for us. It doesn't matter to me if I'm a one man or if my team's working fluidly. I just play the game.
Oh yeah.
That shouldn't matter. It's a team-based game.
Yeah, but as we all know with multiplayer, not everybody plays the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just proved your prime example number 1.
Yeah, but that also proves for every multiplayer game, not just the finals.
I think that's why team deathmatch is always my sort of favorite category because you don't have to play as a team in team deathmatch. You can it's very solo player skill heavy in team deathmatch as opposed to like cash out where you have to rely on your teammates to help you commit better, and you can't really do that unless you have unless you're in like a VC full of people that you know, because otherwise you're just with a bunch of randos that you don't know and you can't trust.
I only play team deathmatch to shut my brain off.
Also that.
Because I don't have to focus on anything.
I mean, when I play cash out, I also shut my brain off though because I'm playing heavy and I'm just like, big wall. Let me put a hole.
Let me launch my rocket launcher. That'll do more damage to me than the person I shoot it with.
Okay, that is genuinely a fucking stupid thing. Why does the rocket launcher do 180 to heavy if they hit themselves with it, but it does 100 to other people?
I honestly don't know.
That
Honestly,
is
there are some questionable decisions with gadgets and things, I
no,
will
yeah,
admit.
like if I didn't have any qualms about the game and you told me that about the rocket launcher, I would be like, dude, who's the dumbass that decided to do that? Like, what the fuck? I would
My
be like,
qualms with the game are less than other games, and that's why I like the finals.
that's fair. I mean, I like it
All the
too.
finals has done for me is proven to me how much I hate the game.
I like it too. Don't get me wrong. But the issues are like, it reminds me of Scarlet and Violet, where the game has a lot of issues, but I love it.
That's me with Fortnite. It has a lot of issues, but I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
No other game can I be a bajillion different characters and make them gritty.
hmm Speaking of games that I have had time to think about, and this kind of goes into what you were talking about earlier, Zach. Final Fantasy 14. Um, so they're about to release patch 7.2, and I've had time to think about why I haven't been playing Final Fantasy 14 as much compared to recent years. And I think it's because they have removed a lot of the difficulty of the game, and I haven't really been wowed by anything recently. When I played Dawn Trail, it felt like the weakest expansion. Uh, although it is, I do put it above Stormblood because, and also I guess I also no, I don't really put it above A Realm Reborn because A Realm Reborn was like it's just the intro to the game. But I think I put Dawn Trail pretty low because even though it is there solely to world build and get you prepared for the next expansion, they have had time to look back on the things they could have changed with A Realm Reborn, and they didn't do those things as well as A Realm Reborn did.
Mm.
For example, the trials were fun. The trials were really good. Uh, the hard version of those trials was really good, except for Zeralja. Zeralja sucked ass. Um, but the dungeons were boring or bullshit. There was a dungeon. There was one dungeon in Dawn Trail that it's like this circus dungeon that is genuinely fucking a headache to get through. And it's because there's a boss in there where all of the boss's mechanics are RNG. And it's just not fun. Because you can be sitting there and then you get caught by an RNG mechanic and you're just either dead or you can't contribute to your team's ability to kill the boss for like the next 10-20 seconds. Um Outside of that, though, outside of like my issues with dungeon mechanics and stuff, the other issue is they've removed class identities. So classes like Astrologian, Reaper, so on and so forth, they don't have any special specific thing they do anymore. And class roles are kind of blurred because tanks can fully heal themselves except for Dark Knight. DPS can shield or heal themselves. So what's the point in even having healers anymore? When every class can just heal themselves. Warrior on its own can solo dungeons, which has been an issue for like the past 5 or 6 years, and they still haven't addressed it. And then also they refuse to either nerf Pictomancer or make all the other classes as good as Pictomancer, which is still an issue. Because it's the same thing that happened in Endwalker, where Reaper was so broken compared to every other class that you couldn't really play any other DPS besides Reaper if you want to do good in end-game content. But I think Picto's a little better because it makes even ultimates look easy, which is not good. And something that the community has been talking about is that rather than taking risks, the Final Fantasy XIV team has decided to not take risks and instead try to make the game appealing for everybody, which I think is not a good thing. By not taking risks, they are taking a risk to try to appeal to everyone when they need to make specific content for specific groups of people and make the game harder to really challenge the player.
Congratulations. Just like how monster hunting feels with the new games, FF14 has essentially made its own game boring to appeal to lower consumers.
Yeah, but I think FF14 does it more egregiously, because in Monster Hunter, your difficulty is usually associated by your build, your gear, what weapon you use, what monster you're fighting, so on so forth. And the same can be said about 14 with like what class you play. Like if you're playing Monk, it's going to be harder to play than playing Picto. But in 14, their decision to make it easier for everybody is specifically a financial decision because they want people to continue subbing. Because if they make the game hard, then people will be like, I don't really want to play this anymore because the content is too hard and I don't really want to continue paying to play, you know? As opposed to Wilds, where you pay once and you just play the game, as opposed to just buying subscription every month. So I think that it's probably a business decision for 14 to make the game easier so that more people can play it.
I think Yoshi P should just stop doing the schedule. The moment that they got done with Endwalker, I think they should have just literally the moment that people were like, "Oh, we always get an update here, or we always get a DLC here." We should have just not had that anymore. He should have went off the rails and just started doing crazy shit. Because I feel like you get stuck in a perpetual machine where you're just putting content out at certain points of the year, even if it's already been done for a long portion of time. And I feel like doing the schedule was only to appease people back when the game sucked. So they knew that things were consistently coming and it was going to be better.
I'm trying to think. Was there... I think the worst that 14 has ever been, as far as like lows go, was probably Stormblood. People did not like Stormblood. I love Stormblood, but
I know
people did
that.
not
I'm
like
just
it.
saying the schedule that was put on Yoshi P and how content has been released since the game got redone has been set to a certain clock that everybody has been used to. But I feel like that's just boring now. And what should have happened after Endwalker was a spontaneous release of content at various times, and he should have swapped up the schedule.
Spontaneous releases would be really fun. Like, imagine if they just randomly were like, by the way, we're dropping an ultimate tonight.
But you don't have that. You get like a list of what's going to happen, what's going to
Mhm.
change, and you can already probably assume what content's going to be added because they've been adding probably about the same amount of content during every expansion.
I think they need both. Like, they could afford to give us an update on important stuff that is coming. Like, hey, here are some new story quests that you're gonna have to do to get to certain content. That would be good, but then they can also do stuff like you were saying where they're like, by the way, we're releasing a new dungeon tonight. Randomly.
Is,
That
is
would be
every
cool.
every relationship with a game company just a relationship now? We want them to
Yeah.
be both timely, and we want them to be spontaneous.
Yeah. Yeah, genuinely, yeah. But I think the reason that they have to continue being upfront about their updates is because they've established this relationship with their customers that they need to be open about what they're going to change, because otherwise people get pissed off. Because if they release a bad update randomly, then people are going to be like, why the fuck didn't you ask the community about this
Correct.
beforehand?
But
Like,
you
what?
just complained about them not taking enough risks, which is where I think would address the fact that
No,
if they had more spontaneous updates, it
no,
would feel better.
that's the thing though. That's the funny thing. When they completely neutered Astrologian, they didn't tell anybody about it until the update launched. I think Kazu remembers this happening when Shadowbringers came out, when Shadowbringers he's fucking gone.
Yeah, no, don't worry, don't
Oh,
worry. I
okay.
just dropped my mouse.
That would have been so funny if you just got up and left and you never
No,
came
sorry.
back.
Sorry, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm tired of it.
But I think Kazu might remember me talking about this when Shadowbringers released and they completely neutered Astrologian.
Yeah, when they brought the shadows.
Yeah, Astrologian was my favorite class because your entire kit was RNG, and you had to adapt to whatever situation you were in. It felt really cool. Like, you would draw a card, and you would go, okay, this either needs to go to a DPS, a tank, or a healer. I won't know until I draw the card which one it will be for. And then you have to think about the situation you're in. You have to go, okay, do I use this now? Or do I save it, wait for my cooldown, and then use two of them? And in some instances, you would get less healing from your cards, so you had to use your other cooldowns to make up for it, and it felt so fucking cool. But when they changed Astrologer in Shadowbringers, they removed every aspect of RNG from it, and so the class literally just became Scholar. You were literally just playing Scholar. You were like, here's your shield, buddy. Alright, we're good to go. And then nothing cool would ever happen. What were you gonna say?
Uh, on it. What was the 11 is the other online Final Fantasy, correct?
Yeah, 11. They just had an
So
update too.
here's what I think what everybody really wanted. I feel like Dawn Trail shouldn't have actually existed, and I feel like we should have just got Final Fantasy 17. I feel like I feel like we had 10 years of wonderful content. We wrapped up a nice little bow. Bam, let's start a new one. Hot take, we didn't need any more Final Fantasy 14.
Well, I think it's an MMO, so I don't think that's feasible. It's also really one of the only reasons Square is still a company.
No, 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 no. You can make a new online world to keep the cycle going and everything. They already did it once.
Yeah, by releasing new DLC.
Yes. But I'm saying, like, when the problem is that you keep something going for so long that it eventually isn't the thing that you want it to be, or it is exactly what you wanted it to be. And most people fail keeping that going for so long. And I feel like a good drop-off point that everybody felt was after or fucking Endwalker. So, honestly, 10 years of content for an MMO for them to be like, all right, we're good. We can just keep the servers up. But let's make a new one. I think is fine.
I think. How do I put this?
I think after 10 years of content, everybody fucks it up. And not even Destiny could get to 10 years of content.
My issue isn't that it's continuing, it's that the direction they're taking is different than the direction they took during Stormblood and Shadowbringers, because when Endwalker released, the direction was completely different. And it was very clear they were making it easier for people.
Listening to my words, would you have felt bad about it if it was in a different game they were taking that direction?
I mean, I don't feel bad about it now, because Dawn Trail was good. I like Dawn Trail. I just don't like that they have been removing the identity of 14 in recent years. Because when I got into Final Fantasy 14, every class had like a specific cool thing about them.
So wouldn't it have been better for them to stop doing anything to 14 a while ago and just leave it in its state?
No, because then it would be like I would have finished.
You would have finished a game? Oh my god.
No, I would have finished.
Wild.
I would have finished Shadowbringers, and then I would have been like, yeah, I'm done with this MMO. Which is an MMO. Yeah. It's meant to keep you playing for the foreseeable future. It's a live service.
Oh no. No, what I want to know is up until that DLC, how many hours had you put into Final Fantasy 14?
Up until Dawn Trail?
Yeah.
Or
Before
Let me
Dawn
check.
Trail, estimating how much hours you would have put into it. Because I guarantee you, from anybody else's perspective, you've already put enough time into that MMO. You are a gross outlier. Even if people would have put like 200 hours, they would have said they got enough money out of the game.
I actually don't think I'm an outlier. I think it's normal to have thousands of hours in 14. Because that's every MMO. If you look at games like Roblox, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, these are games that people dump years of their life into.
Yes, and
And
what
you're
I'm
supposed to
saying
dump
to
years of your life
you
into
is
it.
that nobody knows when the appropriate time to end them ever is, and I feel like they should have just ended it after Shadowbringers or Endwalker, whatever the last one before Dawn Trail was.
Endwalker. Yeah, Endwalker.
Yeah, because I feel like they just didn't do anything better. They changed the direction, they changed how the story was going. Half the people liked it, half the people didn't, and now people are falling off of it.
Mm-hmm. Which is a combination of a bunch of different things. Like, some people are leaving because they don't like the direction of the game right now. Some people are leaving because, oh, I have already done everything in the game. I've been playing this for like almost 20 years now. So I really only had to do Dawn Trail's story and then farm Savage or something. Or some people really only play the game to do the hardcore stuff, like Savage and Ultimate. And when they beat those, they take a break until the new stuff comes out. But I think a big reason why it's falling off right now is a combination of the direction has changed, and people who were playing the game 5 years ago don't like it. And also, it's been, like, what, a year since Dawn Trail came out now? So everyone's had time to beat the story and kind of do what they wanted to do on the game until the
Nobody's
next big
putting
update
out
comes out.
Nobody is putting out any good new MMOs.
Well, that's because when you release an MMO, if it doesn't already have an established fan base, it kind of just dies in obscurity. And the reason for that is because everyone already
No good
chooses.
MMOs. Did you forget the Strandings right there?
Shut up. That's you shut the heck up over there, buddy. Okay, are we really gonna take this from Kojimbo, the boy who keeps forgetting and also loving over Metal Gear? You can't say that shit. We all saw that trailer. Kojimbo's like an abused ex-partner fondly remembering all the good memories as he looks over at Metal Gear.
This is something very important though. Is I don't think people typically think about how hard it is to establish an MMO in the current market when there are
okay.
when there are already the big four that
Do you want to know
everyone
what
chooses and they stick to.
Do you want to know what I'm legitimately telling you? All of those big MMOs should have ended years ago because they finally finished the story and everybody just wants to relive the younger days anyways. So take Old Yeller out to the back, put the shotgun to the face of the MMO and put it down and keep the servers on live support. Create something new for your people.
Okay, but here's the counterpoint, right? If they shut down those MMOs now, what is there to go to? Because there's no other
I
MMOs
just
that are
told
that high
you to
quality,
make
right?
a new MMO.
Yeah, but that's a risk, and if it fails, then those
If
people are
Yoshi
gonna be
P can't
like,
put out a new great MMO, then great. Then that was it. It was one and done. It was a spark of fire, and that's what we got. A wonderfulness that was FF14.
yeah, but then people are pissed because they're like, why did you guys shut this down to release a new one that's completely different that no one likes? Like, imagine, right? Imagine if they're like, here's Dark Souls 1. We're gonna
what would you rather?
we're gonna kill the game. We're gonna
No,
take
no,
it
no,
away
no, no,
from
no.
you.
I
And here's
want,
Dark Souls 2.
I want to take your words that you just used against you right now. You
Yeah.
basically said, what happens if they create a new thing that they don't like? Well, they took the existing thing and turned it into a thing that people didn't like. It doesn't matter. Everybody's gonna still have a bitchy opinion about something.
Yeah, but they have the ability to change it because it's a live service. Just because it's bad right now doesn't mean it won't be good later.
When should a live service game end?
Realistically, never.
That's not possible. They always are going to end. That is just an inevitability. I know what gaming companies think, and you're playing in and trying to think like a game company, and I know you don't think like that.
How long has
We've seen
RuneScape been a
big
game?
titans.
No, actually, perfect example, Mabinogi. Mabinogi has been the fucking same since 2004.
Yes,
It's
I'm
a
not saying that things die. I'm saying that the servers just have a beating heart that keeps them going, and then the new thing takes off with the membership.
yeah, but to say like you should shut this down
I'm
because
not saying you
it's
shut it
taking.
down.
No,
I'm saying
you
they
did say to shut
completed
it
the
down though.
story.
Yeah, you
It's
said shut it down.
done.
You said shut it down. They completed the story, move on to a new thing.
Yeah,
I don't
Yoshi P
think
should just make a new like FF17.
I don't think that's feasible though because the story. I mean, the story's not actually done. The end of Endwalker was the end of the story of Eorzea, not all the other stories that were going on in the world.
Oh, because we've never moved to different worlds or anything in FF14,
Yeah,
different
yeah.
game.
You see the
Yeah,
issue with that
yeah,
now. You see
yeah.
the issue with that now.
No, it doesn't matter. They can go to a new game and still have it connected to the old game. They've done it before.
Yeah, but no one has an issue with the story or anything. People want more from the story of
You
14.
just keep telling me that people are like, "Oh my god, I don't really like the new direction it's heading."
Yeah, but no,
I'm just telling
the
you what's the
direction
difference
is.
between them keeping it in 14 and them stopping at the end of Endwalker and then creating a new game with a story that takes place afterwards.
I think there's a misconception here because the direction that people have an issue with isn't story, it's how they're balancing classes and how they're making fights.
Yes, if they're changing up the entire fighting system and everything, if they kept the old system in 14 and used the new system in the new game, would anybody complain because they can go back and use the old system?
Wait, what?
If they're
Wait,
changing the style of how people play with the new content, and as I said, with the new content they have placed it in a new game, that means the style and fighting would still be in old 14, while we would have the new style of fighting and all the new content in 17.
I don't really see a point in that, if I'm being honest, because when I'm saying like people have an issue with the direction of 14,
I'm just tired of people keeping things going for so long and not actually ending them.
don't you literally play Fortnite in the finals?
Fortnite keeps it at least changing.
So does 14. It's literally just they're both live services.
But there's a
If
problem.
anything, you could say that Fortnite.
14 made an overarching story that actually came to an end.
Yeah, Fortnite has a story too.
But it never
Should.
comes to an end because it's Fortnite, because it's constantly trying to drive the machine.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy 14 story could theoretically never end either because there was a bunch of
Yeah, but
different
11's
worlds
dead.
and shit. Yeah, and 11 is still going.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
saying
I think
14
11
can
still
still do
has a
the
story
same
going
thing.
on. I think 11 still has a story going on too.
Does 11 still have a story going on? If you can verify that is not just the same game that has just had regular updates to it to make sure that everything's still running.
Well, if they weren't just updating the game to keep it running, then why would people play if there's no new content?
Because people love playing old games.
Yeah, but if they run out of content, then they leave.
You've put over 1,000 hours in World, and you're wondering why anybody would put like a lot of hours into something that they love.
Well, if I 100% a game,
Yeah.
unless I am like deeply enamored with that series, I'm probably not coming back. For example, Pokemon. I can replay Pokemon any time of the fucking day, right? That's because
I hope so. They're all the same. Okay, bye.
Oh,
that one was pretty good.
oh, damn!
That's not even like a roast. Like, let's just be honest. That's fucking true as shit.
Oh, that's a dunk right there.
I'm
just kidding.
That genuinely like removed all of my thought processes.
I'm just saying.
I'm looking at the FF11 update.
I'm just saying that I feel like deep in his heart, Yoshi P has an entire new MMO that he could create with the new systems and things that he's taking the direction of 14.
I'll be honest with you, Chief. I don't think Yoshi P is capable of making another game. Everyone hated FF16.
That's so fair.
Did they hate FF16?
Yeah,
It's
a lot
one
of
of the
people.
more like most hated and newer games from Final Fantasy.
I thought
You know,
I thought it was pretty mixed because I know
I
that
don't. You know what? I'm gonna say it. One of the worst communities is the Final Fantasy community because they can never tell what they want.
I mean,
well
yeah, when you give them 16 different games to choose from.
well let me tell you, Zach, it's because of
15
this
was terrible.
it's
16 was terrible.
it's because of this little thing called variants. There are so many people that play Final Fantasy that it is genuinely impossible to keep a coherent opinion between the community.
If anybody wants to know what Final Fantasy is, it's Hot Boy Summer every single time. It's you and your crew going out to just solve something.
Also, can confirm Final Fantasy XI is still receiving story updates into 2025. They actually released a story update a couple months ago.
But like what entails in the story update? Is it just like adding out little details that flesh out like a kingdom that's already in the thing, or is it like an entire DLC expansion like they do for 14?
I don't know, but apparently in 2020 they got a DLC expansion type thing.
All right. Well, 11's continuing and getting DLCs.
I think the difference between 11 and 14 is that 14's story is also linear, and 11's is more independent with each storyline.
Oh, that would probably be a little bit better. You can just place them wherever.
14's is also, well, 14's feels a lot less linear now than it did before Dawn Trail.
Are you sure? Because I still run in a straight line doing quests to get things done.
That's
I'm
every
still
MMO
doing
though.
20 fetch quests between each main quest.
That is every
I'm-
MMO. I don't think that's an applicable argument.
No, I didn't
I-
say it wasn't for only 14.
Yeah, hold on. Let's attack everybody
So
accurately
wait, hold on.
if we're going to start attacking
No.
people.
So
People
hold
do
on.
not make good MMOs.
If the argument is that, if your argument is 14 is a linear because it has fetch quests, and then I say, but every MMO has fetch quests, so like that doesn't make it
No,
linear.
no.
And then your
No,
next
no,
thing
no,
you
no,
say,
no.
the next thing you say
I'm not saying
is,
FF14 is linear because it has fetch quests. I'm saying it's linear because I can literally run from one quest to the next and still get a power bump decent enough to keep me going for the entirety of the story. It literally doesn't matter. Yes, you could railroad yourself through the entire story of 14.
I think there's a little bit of revisionism going on here, because I heard FF14's linear, and I said, I mean, I agree.
The story's linear.
Yeah, with Dawn Trail, it's a little less linear, though. And then I
A
heard...
little less doesn't make it not linear, though.
Yeah, but
It's
then
still
Yeah,
like
say-
95%
but-
linear.
But then I heard, in
Say
defense of
the-
it being linear, that it has fetch quests.
No, I was just making a joke about every fucking MMO. It's just fetch quest central.
You're not wrong. I need to go grab this item and get this quest done, and that's why everybody complained about
I gotta go
those
grab
stupid...
this bowl of water across the city from my
What?
cat 5 miles away.
Isn't...
Tell me, what
okay,
what
hold
did they
on, hold
do
on.
to those 100 quests that were over after fucking Realm Reborn? What did they do with them, huh, buddy? They got rid of most of them because they were stupid and idiotic.
I think that this is really funny, considering we, like the three of us, play some of the most linear games in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about fetch quest, and I play Death Stranding. That's
Yeah.
like fetch quest simulator.
It's literally I gotta go fetch
And
the
Zach
thing
plays
and
the
go
finals. This
deliver
one's
it to
beautiful.
somebody else.
And Zach plays the finals, which is also fetch quest central.
Yes, I literally go grab a box and I put in the
Exactly.
point and then I defend the point. Yeah, I know. I know what my fetch quests
am-
are, but I got a sundial watch from
No.
mine.
Oh, it is so funny that you knew the exact thing I was thinking of when I said it was fetch quest central. You were like, yeah, I pick up a box and I put it in a goal.
But I also, throughout this entire week, have been like playing other games that aren't fetch quests because I don't want to constantly play fetch quests.
I heard there was a quote that I thought was extremely true. Someone said, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a couple years ago. It was like I think it was MMO Watch or something. But he said, the next big MMO will not be an MMO where you have to do fetch quests.
I wait for that day every day.
I know,
The
right?
next big MMO is going to be in the style of like a Baldur's Gate or a Witcher sort of thing, where I can
Actually,
actually
The
go
next big MMO
around.
is gonna release this year. It's called GTA 6.
That's not true. I
You say
don't
that's not
believe that.
true, but
It's
it's already
not gonna
said to be the
happen.
biggest
I
selling game in all time.
I
Nah.
still hate that people called GTA 5 an MMO because there was 20 people in one lobby.
I mean, it's not really not. Doesn't make it not an MMO.
You're
There's a
not
Just
lot.
because of
wrong,
the
but
limited players in a lobby.
you're
It's the
Listen,
same
if
in normal MMOs.
you're
what
you're not
if I
wrong, but I hate the fact that you can call something with 20 players in a lobby a massively multiplayer online game. That
what what
sounds
what
so
if I have
wrong.
what if I have a massive amount of mass?
Look at the Monster Hunter MMO.
God,
What if
you're
I have a bunch of
you're
small
right. I fucking
masses
hate
and they
it.
add to the big masses?
Wait, what?
What if we take all the small masses and then it makes a big mass? Can't we call it an MMO?
Shut up.
If all the circles combine together in the petri dish, doesn't it truly make the experience MMO?
You know, a wise little guy once told me all these squares make a circle.
That's true. Listen. Amazing games happen all the time that don't have linear story. Like, I don't know.
Like, never says anything.
Never. I was hoping to just never say anything, just never come up with an answer. Well, you know, it's
If I'm
obvious.
honest, I only care about games with a linear story.
True. Honestly,
Because every game that has a story you can make your own ends up having the same ending anyways.
people God, that's so true. That's the one thing that we hate is that the games that once promised us the ability to make decisions to craft our own story inevitably just became choose what color beam you want to end the world with.
Yeah.
Hold on, who's the guys that made Wolf Among
Mass
Us?
Effect? Oh, sorry. Thought we were calling out. Never mind. Wolf Among
The
Us.
two both perfectly good examples.
Yeah. Are they making Wolf Among Us too?
Well, I think they are, but that reminded me that game studio, it genuinely does the same thing. Like when you're playing the um damn it.
Well,
Wait,
that's
no, it's not Wolf Among Us. It's the guys that made
Telltale.
no,
Damn.
it's not Telltale. I'm thinking of a different
Whatever.
studio. They are the guys who made the horror game about the Wendigos.
Oh, you're thinking of
Until Dawn Studio.
yeah.
Yeah. Their recent game,
God.
I think, you would choose between like two completely different things, and it would just say the same shit.
No, don't even. Okay, so what everybody thinks is that decision games are like a tree that branches out. No, imagine it's two trees and the points connect at the center, and then it's like an oval. And
Yeah.
literally the begin point and the end point are usually the same.
This ending's different because I have this character this time.
Honestly, that was the worst part is Until Dawn gave us an unfair expectation from that studio, and then all they put out was shitty games afterwards.
Can confirm because Until Dawn was like fucking
A
peak.
masterpiece.
It was incredible.
Great. Your choices actually mattered in that
Yeah,
game from
I
beginning
remember
to end.
Until Dawn's rail shooter.
God, rail shooter.
I
Playing at the
remember
Chuck E. Cheese.
this was so funny. I was playing Until Dawn with Ethan back in like 2014 or some shit. And we each everyone there chose a character to play as. So whenever that character would come up, we'd pick up the controller. The first
That sounds like a terrible idea with QuickTime events.
No, this is the funny thing. I chose what's her name? It's the girl that was like hop skipping over the rocks across the river. I think she had blonde hair or something.
I
chose
can't remember
her.
their names.
I chose her, right? And
Default horror kills all over the place.
Motherfucker, tell me why the first QuickTime event I see is one of the first ones in the game, and it's my character So when it comes up, I don't even see the button appear on the screen, and I fail it, and my character died.
That's what you get.
And I was sitting there like, dude, I
If-
didn't even get to play the game.
If anything, I am so happy that that game was so so religious about whether everybody lives or everybody dies.
Mhm.
You either made the right choices or the wrong choices.
That game is so great watching people play it because every time it's the end of the game and someone's doing the house scene where you have to get rid of the
Oh.
Wendigo, everyone
Oh.
always flicks the lighter and then fucking blows up the house on accident.
Kills everybody. So great. So great every single time.
Yeah, it is so funny.
Here, I will be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom. But if you guys want to talk about the Death Stranding or Silent Hill trailers that we got,
Alright,
Did
Kazu,
you
my
watch
ears
either
are
of
open.
those?
I haven't watched them yet.
I
No.
watched
I-
Death Stranding and I watched the Silent Hill one.
Put them on.
I woke up
Okay.
One of
when
them's
you
10
guys were
minutes
talking
long.
about it. Oh my god. Actually, that's not bad.
You'll never guess which one it is.
Is it the one where all they do is talk in it, except for like a 2 or 3 minute actual game footage?
No.
Oh, is that the Death Stranding one then?
Yeah, I'll give you the Silent Hill one. You might be interested in the Silent Hill. This is
Okay,
the first one in Japan.
can we talk about how them talking for like 7 of the 10 minutes for the Death Stranding one is very par for the course for Death Stranding? Like Death Stranding is literally the
Death Stranding
ReZero of
trailer is
video
better.
games.
Death Stranding trailer is like a full 10 minutes of gameplay and story, and then they only talk about the game for like 2 minutes afterwards.
Oh really? Oh okay. I thought it was
In the
flip
Silent Hill game, they showed a 3-minute trailer after everyone's been waiting for 3 years, then talked for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was flip-flopped because I remember you guys talking about it in chat earlier. I was gonna say,
Oh
like,
no.
dude, it is so funny that Death Stranding is literally the video game version of ReZero, where it's just a yap fest. You literally hear a yap fest for like fucking 30 hours, and then there's one fight scene, and you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever experienced.
Oh, it's pretty accurate. That was
Oh,
me playing
man.
all of Death Stranding except for the first 2 hours. The first 2 hours are the biggest slog I've ever played in a game. But after that, the game just clicks.
It's so funny
You'll be
because
motivated to like finish the game.
I think that's exactly where Zach is right now in ReZero. Because when we talk about it, he's like, dude, it's so boring. And I'm like, hey, by the way, what episode are you on? He's like, I don't know, like 12 or something. I'm like, you know you're watching the prologue, right? And he's like, the prologue? I'm 12 episodes deep in a prologue? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I was so waiting for the day any of you guys actually play through Death Stranding.
I've actually been thinking about it because I can put it on my Steam Deck. And that's why I put Yakuza on my Steam Deck, because I was like, well, I can just play this while I'm out. And it's a single player game.
True.
And also, apparently Death Stranding has good controls for Steam Deck.
Yeah, they actually like had a whole team like develop proper control transferation over to it.
Hold on. So, this is Silent Hill F.
It's made by the guy that
Dude.
made Higurashi.
Does that sound familiar? Oh! Oh god!
Yeah,
my
it's that one.
God. Okay,
That's why everyone's excited for it.
Fuck, Kazu... is this the first Silent Hill I play besides PT? That would
might
be
be.
so funny, because you know I love psych horror. Is this a psych horror?
All of Silent Hill is psych horror.
That's not true.
Oh, it definitely is.
No, because every game that Leon is in is immediately...
Excuse you? Excuse you? Every game that Leon is in?
I didn't
Hold on,
finish. I
buddy.
didn't finish.
I remember
Did Zach
that
hear that?
Silent
I hope he
Evil.
heard that.
I'm so happy about that one game, Silent Evil.
Oh, yeah. I love
It's-
Resident Hill.
It's funny. It's funny because I was hoping you wouldn't catch that part.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Look at this non-gamer over here.
I was gonna say every game that Leon is in just turns out to be a porn game, and I was gonna hope that last part is what you were gonna fucking yell at me over.
No, I'm gonna make fun of you for getting the wrong game.
No. That was intentional,
Yes.
though. I know enough about Resident Evil to know that Leon's not in fucking Silent Hill. I literally, every time
Yeah,
Ethan
but
You're
plays...
like the first person to say that.
Wait, what?
You know how many people looked at the Silent Hill 2 remake trailer and said, "Is that fucking Leon?"
Do they... I hope they're not serious,
I
because,
forgot about
A
that.
lot of
That
them were
was really
serious.
good.
like, I've played a couple Resident Evil games. I played 6, and then almost played 6 the second time with Kazu, and that was horrible. Do you remember? I was like, I need to go take a nap. This made me so tired. That game was horrible.
Oh man.
Um,
Wait until they finally remake 5.
I didn't play the remake they made that had mixed reviews. The one that Ethan played that had like a lot of bugs on it.
Resident Evil 3, where they cut out
Yeah.
half the game content.
Yeah,
Dude, that was the saddest thing. How they butchered the boy.
I didn't play that one, but I didn't play that one, but I watched Ethan play it. And it was genuinely like one of the funniest fucking experiences I've ever seen. The final cutscene where fucking oh my god, is it Jill? I think Jill's walking up the staircase to the helicopter to face off against the main villain. Dude, she literally just like walked through the staircase. Like her body clipped through the staircase, and the entire cutscene played out as if she wasn't there. And then, oh my god, what's his name was like, his feet were underneath the ground. I was like, dude, what is happening?
Honestly, terrible things.
And then there was this one glitch where Ethan was like walking through a hallway or something, and his character just started disappearing. I was like, dude, what is happening to your fucking game? I don't know what it is. I think his PS5 is genuinely just bricked. Every time
It's
he
all
plays a
breaking
game,
down.
dude.
All the walls, they're all shattering.
I'm watching this trailer though. It looks really good so far.
What are you feeling about it, Kazu? How are you feeling about the Silent Hill trailer as the aficionado?
I mean, I'm excited for it. The first like new take on it in forever.
I was about to say, like, the first Silent Hill game in literal ages finally coming out, and it looks like it's from a different concept. Thank God, some new content.
You know what this reminds me a lot of?
I
This
mean, they did have a new one that was free on PlayStation 5 called The Short Message.
But if I remember correctly, what was your reception to that game?
I hated the ending because it was a stupid ass chase scene. Everything else was cool though.
Oh, okay.
They took a page out of Resident Evil 6, did they?
It's pretty much it.
Half the game is fucking chase scenes.
Well, that game was also like a huge message towards like suicide awareness in Japan.
Yeah, they're having a rough go of it over there across the pond in Nippon.
Well, when when a lot of your societal issues are to care about other people more than yourself, when really you should care about everyone and everything equally. You should both love yourself and love everyone that's around you, and not even
they
just
get one or
around
the
you.
other.
One or the other.
Oh God, that's the worst option.
Actually, I think the worst option is only loving yourself, which is kind of the U.S. That's how American
No, you
society
can love
is.
others or you can love yourself, but I think truly the worst option is loving no one or yourself, because then you become unhinged.
I think that's actually no, you're right. That is objectively like the worst thing.
Yeah, like I'm not lying here. We're on the
Yeah.
opposite side. That's like if the positive's both good, then the negative.
At that point, you're a psychopath. But at least if
Yeah.
you only love yourself, you're a sociopath.
Like at least you have some values there,
Actually, wait,
but
no,
the other one is just none.
Maybe they're both equally as bad, because
Okay,
There's
wait,
nothing
hold on,
stopping you
hold on.
from just killing people for either of them.
Oh, okay. So here was an argument that I made is that we have seen psychopathic people in society say that why would I try to do negative upon people and just make their lives worse? So clearly there's some inherent good in human man.
Well, you can be a psychopath without having
There's
total
other forms of
sociopathic
emotion. That's
tendencies,
that's
yeah.
that's that's
Because
what we're really trying to say is that there's other forms of emotion than we natively think about.
psychopaths can feel for other people, but sociopaths can't. Or they feel for other people in a different way than
What you would usually
typically.
assume is
Yeah.
feeling for another person because they have a hard time processing normal human emotion.
Yeah. Or sometimes they flat out just don't have that part of their brain that allows them to feel
Yes.
those things.
And then they try to connect in other ways or ask people very weird questions to try to gain those sort of connections or form those sort of connections.
So Silent Hill F reminds me a lot of Fatal Frame, by the way. I'm sorry, I just finished the trailer, so I'm sorry if that was like
No,
out
no,
of
no,
left
no,
field.
no. It was just really funny. I'm like, yeah, we're just doing a dissertation right now, and then all of a sudden we break
Just
back in
moved
like,
on
yeah, and Silent
completely.
Hill F is really nice looking.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Epic Games worked on this?
No, they're just publishing it on their
Oh,
platform.
okay, I see. It's because they used Unreal. I see.
Yeah,
Dude,
this is an
everybody.
all in-house game.
Oh god, the fact that everybody is using Unreal, I
It's a
I
good
want to
engine.
know what happens when we get to Unreal 6.
So, this game reminds me a lot of Fatal Frame, actually. Specifically with the setting and a lot of the imagery. Do we know when this is coming out, or is it just like...
Nope.
Okay, so they're just like, here, have
They
the
first
trailer.
announced this 3 years ago.
Ooh, so they're getting close. They're getting very close.
Yeah, I'd expect it to be like a next year release. They'll probably show like another trailer or something at like Summer Game Fest or something.
Yeah, because I mean, this looks like it's game footage too, so that means they are
Yeah,
extremely
that's all
close.
in-game footage.
It would probably you're thinking at the beginning of next year, right?
I could
Ooh.
see probably like spring.
What if they release it in either fall or winter to keep up with the theme? Also, that would give them a game to look forward to on their end of year earnings report.
Mm.
Because
What,
it'll
this
be
year?
oh no, next year. So like next year if
Oh,
they
next
release it.
year.
Yeah, next year if they release it in fall or winter, then it'll be during the holidays, so more people will be able to get it, or more people will be inclined to get it, and then it'll be on their earnings report for that year.
I could realistically see summer or fall.
Yeah, I could see summer if they're just like, we want to just go ahead and get this out. No point in waiting, you know. And then also that would allow them to do sales for it during winter. So that they can be like, hey guys, this game was a hit success. Here's a sale for it for 20% off to get more people to buy it.
Yeah.
This is coming out winter this year.
No.
You know,
They already
sometimes
have their one big game of the year. That's Metal Gear Solid Delta.
sometimes I think that business classes were a net negative to my brain. Because I'm just sitting here thinking about like, oh man, all the ways that they could release this to get like peak sales.
Yeah.
When
Well,
if the game is randomly just bad, then it's not gonna matter.
Oh my god, it was a question that Bree asked me the other day. She looked at me flatly and she was just like, "So why does the video game industry suck right now?" And I went on a diatribe. I did not stop talking for like 30 solid minutes about why the game industry is currently why it is.
Hear
But
me
It
we've
out.
also really
already done
depends
that
on where you
here.
look in the game industry.
Hear me out.
No, I also laid out the positive sides of the game industry. I was telling her more about, she was asking about the negative sides of the industry, and I was telling her more about like what
like people working in it and stuff.
it was mainly about how we've gotten to the place we are, how most larger companies have just hired too many people, have overcomplicated the entire process of game making, and probably just actually have too many cooks in the kitchen. So having all those layoffs happen and for there not to be more is surprising to me, because I feel like a good portion of the industry is overinflated in the higher end. And on the underside, I think a lot of indie studios and AA studios are doing fantastic work right now, and we're actually getting a greater volume of fantastic games.
I don't think it's an issue of being overinflated. I think that they have enough. I think that they're doing like fine with having a bunch of people working for the bigger companies. I just don't think they should be letting them go when a project is done because they want to cut costs. Because they can afford to keep those people hired and be on benefits, but they're just like, we want to save money now that the game is out. Fuck these people. Hate when they do that.
I hate when everybody thinks that the well of money won't stop, so they just keep hiring and they just keep expanding. It is exactly what Ubisoft has done and is suffering the consequences from, and I am pretty sure it's the consequences Blizzard and Activision are currently facing.
Well, when you have, what, 2,000 people working on Call of Duty to make the same game every year,
Oof.
and all they've done was what? Give you more movement options?
Make a worse option for launching your games.
Yeah, that one's for sure. We won't talk about that one, how you need a launcher just to launch your game.
You need to launch one game to launch your other game.
Oh my god. And then,
Yeah.
no, the stupid part about that shit was you would download the launcher and
And the launcher
games
would
were
launch a
only
game.
the games were only that fucking big because you needed the launcher that also had the textures for the other games in it. Like, what the
Yup.
fuck?
And now they have so many textures that they make you have to have internet on constantly to download the textures while you're playing.
They have been
Hey.
lost in the sauce for a while.
Hey guys, I had a solution a long time ago. I wanted to call it the Call of Duty, and we just put out one, and we just added to that one, and we changed shit in that one. You know what
If you
deserves an
think about
MMO?
it, that's
Call
what they
of
did
Duty.
in the worst way.
Yes.
So they did do your solution, they just didn't do it the way you would have wanted.
God.
Me, like, I feel like a savant right now. I'm looking at the painting it could have been in my mind, and I'm like, oh, it looks so beautiful. And then I stare over at the actual trash bag sitting in the corner, and I'm like, ew.
Ew.
Ew. Ugh. Oh, that's it. Everybody, there are two games that you can make right now in the world today, and they will be smash hits if you do them right. If you are able to somehow recreate the magic of the original Call of Duty, you'll win my heart. And the second one is shit, I forgot.
That's gonna be a
well,
hard one.
well, if it's lost to the winds forever, who knows what it was, but maybe it'll
Oh,
float
so it's
back at
actually a
some
fart
point.
you forgot.
Yeah, and a meal of the past. That's what I forgot. Oh god. Assassin's Creed. There we go. Anybody could probably redo the Assassin's Creed just like as a concept right now with just how I feel Shadows is going to be received. I feel like Ubisoft is going to start breaking down soon, violently.
I really want the new Assassin's Creed game to succeed. Because how funny
It's
would
not
it
going
be?
to.
No, but how funny would it be? All those people that are like, oh, fuck, dude. This game's made by DEI and all this other stupid shit. Quote unquote
Those are like the only
stupid
people
shit.
actually like upset with the game right now. It's just that people are like, oh, there's so much fucking DEI and wokey bullshit in this game,
Yeah.
dude.
How fucking funny would it be if it won Game of the Year, just like when Baldur's Gate 3 won and those same people were complaining, and then they use that argument again where they're like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime thing, you know. It's like, brother, it can only happen once in a lifetime once. There have been like 5 fucking Game of the Years that do the same stuff that you people complain about, and all of a
Hey,
sudden it's randomly
hey.
not a problem because it was successful. Like what?
Hey,
What?
I'm
Hello.
gonna be
Yes.
honest with you. It's a pattern. It's the exact pattern they do every time. And a small team eventually creates magic. Then that team, after creating that magic, gets a larger section of team, and then they create something that is a is slightly better idea but worse execution. And
Unless you're
then they get
Larian.
more people for the next game, and then they just put out something that's actually awful. And that's how every single Ubisoft title
Silk Song.
is. Oof.
Hey,
That's what I'm fully expecting from Silk Song.
hey, there is an exception to this. Larian Studios, because they were upfront about
That's not
BG3.
who I was talking
Oh,
about.
no,
I
no,
was
I know, I
talking
know.
about Ubisoft. It
No, I
was
know.
only Assassin's Creed.
No, I know.
They
I
put
know.
out Origins, then they put out Odyssey, then they put out Valhalla, and everybody fucking hated Valhalla. Then they put out Mirage, then they put out their fucking they're gonna put out their next piece of, or was what happened
Also-
after there was Mirage, then they're gonna put out this, and then they're gonna put out something that after all the concepts is just terrible.
Also, let's be honest, right?
Also, they just move all the terrible people in their company from studio to studio and location to location. They have
I
like
was about to say that.
11,000 people at that studio.
No, I was genuinely about to say that. I was gonna say, it's not even that they make bad games. It's the fact that they focus
They
on
have bad people.
They focus on literally everything else except their games. Like, remember when they were still doing this stupid crypto shit, and people were like, "Why are you doing this? You could just be putting this money towards your games and making them good."
Oh,
And they're
you
like,
think that's stupid? You should remember the history of Ubisoft and the creator of Assassin's Creed and how they bought every game studio he founded just because they want him back.
"Oh my god."
He literally cannot release another game, and now he just tries to release terrible games just to fucking try to get away from them.
Oh yeah.
With the last
Like
one,
he
it was like
purposely makes
Humankind.
bad games. Yeah.
But I
It was that
will.
monkey game that we all looked at and we were like, what the fuck is that game?
I'm gonna glaze Larian Studio for a second because
Dude, no,
Dude.
here's my problem with Larian Studio is they're too good. They're showing up everybody in the industry. I need them to stop fucking acing
'Cause
it. That's
let-
what I
let's-
need them to stop doing.
let's create a timeline here, right? They've always been like they've released very good games before Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, Divinity was awesome. I love Divinity.
Yes, no, they make great games. That's the problem is that
And then-
but you have to also remember that they have ruined other games in the world because they gave unrealistic studios or unrealistic expectations for other studios because of things they did.
Is that
When
their problem
Divinity
or is that
came out-
I don't know if that's their problem though.
Okay, so here's
I think
what
that's
really
just
happened.
like a gamer problem where they play
They
an amazing
released-
game and they're like, I need everything to be like this.
Yes, that's truly also a gamer problem. And also, I feel like there's some other studios who don't get away with bitching about Larian when they have way more employees than Larian, and we look at them like, what the fuck are you guys doing
It's because
then?
Larian is incredible at team
For 400 people.
management.
That's what I
Also-
constantly say. You shouldn't have 11,000 employees at Ubisoft. I swear to God, you could get the same amount done with 3,000.
Also, Larian admitted that they were taking their time with Baldur's Gate 3, which is a big reason I think that Baldur's Gate 3 was so good. They were getting money
Ugh.
from Wizards, I think, and they
Well,
were
yes,
telling
but
Wizards,
the-
we're going to take our time with this, because if we don't, it will be a bad game.
But also,
So
when they
Wizards was like,
released...
okay, take your time with it, and they just gave them a fuck ton of money, and they gave them the support they needed, allowing them to branch out to other studios for help and stuff, which is why Baldur's Gate 3 was so successful. They had a fuck ton of different studios and other people working on it.
well, I think...
and that's why
what you should
Larian
be-
came out, and they were like, this is never gonna happen again, because our studio is not used to this. This was like a one-time thing. So you guys need to expect our next game to be like much, much smaller scale.
Yes, and that's...
And I was
that's-
like, hell yeah.
I think that's truly what anybody after nailing such a successful game, especially a game of the year, should take a step back and do something a little bit smaller scale. It's the thing that I'm hoping that FromSoft does with their next game. But if they are just blasting through into Elden Ring, well, I know they're still going to blast through and continue developing Elden Ring 2, but I'm hoping they release a smaller game in between the release of Elden Ring 2.
They are. It's Night Rain.
I don't want that to be the only one in my heart. Even though
I don't think anybody realistically does.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Because
I
while it
don't.
probably is fun, if the full release is any better, I don't think it's gonna be their like main
No.
small game for before Elden Ring 2.
I don't think they're going to go to any of their other series either.
What if they do like a remaster of Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3 even?
A remaster of Dark Souls 3. Ooh. It's just Miyazaki going back through them, and he just makes Dark Souls, and he combines all 3 games himself into a remastered singular game.
And people would buy that.
I'd buy that. That sounds insane. Just go into the game and you can either select any of the other. No, it'd be too perfect. You would literally end the game of one, and it would be like, do you want to continue to the next game, or do you want to be reborn in this one? The thing that I hope they take from lessons from like seamless co-op and everything is I hope that Miyazaki adds a more like seamless co-op. Because I like the idea of with the buddies going through the story or on my own, because I've gone through the story on my own and with friends.
True. I just don't know what else they would actually do besides Elden Ring 2.
True.
Demon Souls 2. Oh yeah.
No.
Damn
I'm
it.
pretty sure Sony owns Demon Souls, don't they?
Yeah. Sony owns Demon Souls and Bloodborne.
Why must everything Sony touches turn to garbage?
I would love to get a hands on that contract, and we all look at it, and just secretly in the text it's just like, and Miyazaki gains control over the titles Demon Souls and Bloodborne.
Oh no, that's
again.
the best part. FromSoft has full control over them.
Oh
Miyazaki
yeah.
is just too busy to work on anything.
That's what he's saying.
As was said by one of the ex PlayStation like head people. Because even he said, I don't know why they've done nothing with Bloodborne yet.
I feel it deep in his heart. He's he's in that back room away from everybody while they're making Elden Ring 2, and secretly you look at it and it's just Bloodborne remaster.
I feel like that's gonna be like a PlayStation 6 thing.
It'd be a remake too. He would go hog wild with the
it'd
details.
be like a full remake.
He would want to do there. He would want to make it look stranger. It would look insane. It'd be crazy, the effects that he had from previous things. Do you think we'd actually be able to jump?
No.
Damn it.
That ruins the essence of what made it hard.
True. That was my buddy's main complaint after he went from Demon Souls to Elden Ring. He didn't want to go back to any of the previous games. He was like, yeah, but I missed the jump. And I'm like, I understand, but you have to skate before you can fly. He's like, I reflew though, and I'm like, yeah, that's your problem.
It's so funny though, because
Yeah, and now it broke your wings. Now you gotta skate again.
Skate again.
A lot of people who play Demon Souls and then they play all the Dark Souls games and shit, they're like, dude. They're like, dude, I fucking hate Demon Souls.
Yeah, the general opinion is that they hate Demon Souls as soon as they touch any other Souls game.
Yeah.
That's
why I love Demon Souls though, because Demon Souls is a broken piece of shit that makes you want to hate everything.
I can admit the remake does fix a lot of the problems the original had.
Oh yeah, that honestly, that's the most beautiful thing, and that's honestly why I want Blue Point to handle like a Bloodborne remake with Miyazaki helping on the side, is because I feel like they would do a glorious work to it.
My favorite thing about Demon Souls is they fixed the jank with the remake, right? But they keep that fucking shit that you can put on your body that makes you break the armor of whoever you're fighting. So people will invade you, they'll coat themselves in it, and then they'll roll around you until your armor breaks and then one-shot you.
My god. Oh God, I miss Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
Not so much Dark Souls 1, but it is a good meme.
It's a good. I think that's the funniest thing that anybody can say is the moment you've beat one Dark Souls game, you kind of figure out the cheese for every other every other Dark Souls.
I hated playing one solo, but then when I played it with Ethan and Jacob and Chandler, the second time I loved it, and it was because I just made a meme kit and we all just went through it together. So I wasn't
That's
suffering.
that was the best thing whenever we would all play together in one of the game series. It was just always
Mhm.
all of us wielding meme weapons. Like what? Dark Souls 3.
Dark
What
Souls
was
2 is a
your
good game. Hmm?
Dark Souls 2 was fantastic. Dark Souls
Yeah,
3, I feel like had better weapon sets for the weapons though. We started really
I
getting
agree.
some crazy stuff.
Um,
Oh, and then the DLC came out, and I'm like, oh, this is what the next game's gonna be. It's gonna be wild. And then the DLC came out for the next game, and I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be the next game?
that reminds me. So in Dark
Hmm.
Souls 1, trying to remember the name of this boss.
Guys, it's obvious. You gotta play
Oh,
Kingsfield if you want that challenge.
Ceaseless Discharge. You guys remember that boss?
Yes.
I'll show you a
So,
ceaseless discharge.
Damn it.
so
Uh,
I remember we were about to fight Ceaseless Discharge, and
yes.
Jacob was like, "Guys, we have to do this strat
One-handed?
to kill this, because if we
Hmm.
don't do the strat, then Ceaseless Discharge is the hardest boss fight in the fucking game." And I was sitting there like, "All right, what's the strat?" And he was like, we have to like cheese it by walking in this specific spot, and then we just sit there." And I was like, "Okay, sick." So we get in there. I run up and hit it with my fucking Smo's hammer and do almost half its health and damage. And I was like, "Jacob, are you sure it's this boss?" And he was like, just sitting there fucking baffled.
Hmm.
And he was like, "Dude, what? Why did you do so much damage?" I was like, "I don't fucking know, man. I just got a hammer with me, bro." So we just did the fight without even cheesing it or anything. And he was like, "Dude, every single time I tried to do this fight alone, it was fucking impossible. And everyone online says you have to do a specific strat to cheese it because otherwise the fight is one of the worst in the game." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I just got a big hammer."
That's how I feel about like every fight in like Dark Souls. Because I remember the Nameless King. Everyone said that was the hardest boss in Dark Souls 3. That was probably the easiest boss I fought the whole game.
Oh my god. Let me look at all the Dark Souls 3 bosses, because I remember Nameless King, and Nameless King I think I beat on my 5th try, but it was
And
it
I remember me and Zach went to the Nameless King and we beat him on our first try. We're like, this was it.
I remember Nameless King being pretty difficult, but when I figured out the move set after second phase, I was like, "Yeah, no, this is not that bad."
I think I remember the true day that I decided that I would never allow a Souls game to ever have one over on me again. And it was after like the 40th try on Martyr Lugarius when we were playing Bloodborne. And then I just perfect him, and then you were like, dude, this guy's impossible. Do it for me as well. And I walked over and perfect him again. I was like, oh my god, I'm never dealing with this bullshit again.
Hmm.
Never again. I will never allow these assholes to get a better of me in these games.
One of the hardest bosses for me was the Dancer. The Dancer was hard.
Oh my god, I loved after
Oh, I cheese
doing.
the dance so hard. I just circle a pole the whole time.
Oh,
When I played Dark Souls 3 for the first time, it was with a bunch of friends from high school. So it was no, maybe it was Ethan. It was Ethan, Jacob, one of our friends named Levi,
Oh my
and
god, Levi.
yeah, dude, and some and somebody else. And I remember we were all joining each other to do that fight specifically, and we were fighting it for at least 2 fucking days before we killed it. I was like, "Dude, this fight is dog shit."
I remember early days. I walked into it first thing when I could, and I used the cheese tactic to make the naked swordsman invincible against it. So he would just fight the dancer and be invulnerable to its attacks. And I just got the souls early. I'm like, ah, perfect. This is great. And then I didn't go face it later, actually, into my second run, and that was just like, oh, this fight is kind of dog ass, kind of constantly spinning to win it around here. But honestly, those poles are just godsends. Just rotate around them.
I think the hardest one for me originally was like mid-ear.
Ooh, Madeir was ass.
I remember all the
I
new
remember
people.
everyone I played with like suffered with like Pontiflow.
I remember all the new people playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time couldn't get past Gundyr. And that was like the big scandal
Oh,
for
yeah?
3 at the time.
Ooh.
Everyone was like, this
I-
game is fucking stupid, dude. I can't even beat the first boss, man. They need to make it easier. And everyone else is just laughing at him.
I think the funnier thing is going into that forbidden basement and fighting the second Gundyr, who definitely is there to flip your ass so much harder than the previous Gundyr
Yeah,
is.
Isn't that
Gundyr
because
on steroids.
isn't that because it's the OG Gundyr and not
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like the
clone or
original-
whatever you're
yeah.
fighting?
He's not the corrupted one, so he's actually there to give you a challenge. And the first thing he does is like shoulder check you, then flip your ass like a pancake, and you're like, oh,
God, dude.
I remember that game so fondly because I got to play with my favorite weapon in the entire series, and then they nerfed it into the ground, and it still is so fucking broken till this day. Henri's straight sword. The only weapon in that entire game that scales with luck.
That's not true. I'm not even gonna elaborate.
I don't believe you until you bring me proof to override my truth.
You don't need proof.
Well, I'm not going to believe you because I think you're a filthy little liar.
Well, if you're not gonna believe me without
see.
proof, then you're stupid.
Listen, I can believe in an omniscient being, but I can't believe in you being right.
That is crazy.
Sorry, didn't mean to phrase. Oh my god. So, oh god. So me and Bree, sorry to get onto a topic that you're absolutely gonna hate, Kazu, but me and Bree were catching up on one of our anime because
I
it
fucking knew it was
was
gonna be about anime.
Break time for me. I'll be back in a minute.
I'm sorry. No, we were watching Greatest Alchemist, and while we were watching it, he was talking about how the kingdom was hunting him down because he was using holy magic on his invention. And I looked at Bree with a straight face, and I'm like, man, the holy kingdom's really been after me since I invented the toilet. And she just fucking bursted out laughing because I said it was such a straight face. Because all of that story whittles down to that entire thing happening.
That is so funny. Also, you know, that it's funny because I can't even criticize it because it's like clearly a stupid plot point that's meant to be funny. But the
Like-
dude, everyone in the fucking show literally tells him, "Don't mention you have light magic or the church is gonna kill you." And he's like, "All right, let me
And
make
then
a
he just-
toilet with light magic."
Goes out of his way to invent something that just
Yeah.
has something innately with it inside of it. Just
I was like, dude, the jokes literally don't get better than this.
my god, it's just so funny to me because honestly, loving the show, loving the I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed that he just produced an entire town in one day. Love that for
Mhm.
anybody who is a producer in a game. I looked at Bree and I was just like, man, that's just me when I play games, isn't it? And she's just like, kinda. When you guys come back and all of a sudden there's a majestic town in the way, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know where this came from.
Zach, this is gonna be really funny. Have you seen that anime about a dude who can literally shop from like Amazon? He gets isekai'd, but his power is he can shop from Amazon.
I have not.
He fucks a lot.
speaking of characters who definitely fuck,
Glad that you're just like,
new
anyway.
level of solo leveling came out, and my god, we're getting closer to Jeju Island.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, the new episode. I did watch it.
Oh wait, actually, we're going to Jeju Island, and it already started, and the boys out and about strolling.
Also, I have a criticism about that episode. All right,
Huh?
he lost aura for this.
What? Not going?
Not going.
Dude, his soldiers are over there. He could transfer whatever.
I did think about that, and I agree. You know, that is a good failsafe. However, here's my reasoning, right?
Yeah. Dude, he
It-
wants to spend
his-
time with his mom. What are you on about?
Yeah, but this is the thing. He could kill everything there overnight. Not even, probably within a couple hours. He'd just be like, everything's dead, going back home.
All right. Just because he can do it, does he have to do everything? Can't the government start pulling their own weight, huh? Before he has to step in?
I would say yes, but my criticism isn't even the fact that he didn't go, it's the fact that he saw...
My favorite part is all this is going on, and he just pan cuts to him doing push-ups in the park.
Oh my god, yeah, and then he's like, alright, that's today's daily quest. I'm like, dude. Okay, so...
Knocking out his dailies while everybody's going to die.
let me, or I want you to tell me what you think about this criticism, though, alright? So,
Alright,
my
continue.
criticism is he saw that the government, and he knows that almost every government from around the world got together to send their best, and it was literally just the US and Japan, or maybe it was South Korea and Japan. They don't really talk about the governments very much. Was it US and Japan, or was it South Korea and Japan?
If I remember correctly, it was Japan and China? I think it was hunters from China, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Okay, because
I could be wrong.
every time I think
It could be
about
South Korea.
every time I think about the
they,
characters...
No, sorry. The hunters are coming from Japan. The hunters we're talking to, Jinwoo included, are from South Korea.
Okay, because every time they talk
The
about
entire
the characters...
basis of them... Yes, they're South Korean, but they're speaking Japanese. I understand.
No,
It's,
they give them South Korean names, and then they say they're from the U.S. So I'm like, I can't tell who's from where.
For all intents and purposes, they're all technically from South Korea. The
Yeah,
main hunters that we talk about in the story.
You know, that's not even a criticism. I don't give a fuck about that. The criticism I have is he knows that multiple governments are sending S-rank hunters to this island because if they don't annihilate this threat immediately, then people are going to die. And he goes, they don't need me. That's fine. I'll just stay here. I'm gonna be with my mom and not deal with this fucking existential global threat. That was my only criticism. I was like, damn it, dude. You could have gone yourself to check it out.
All right. I got a couple questions for you if you could answer them for me in order.
I will say the criticism isn't that big because he sent the soldiers there, and knowing that he could just be there in like a flash is much better than him not doing that. Like, imagine if he didn't send the soldiers.
Hold on, let me ask my questions. Do I have soldiers on all of the South Korean hunters that I know of in my region? Yes. Do I now have shadows on all the Japan hunters that we met in that one meeting? Of course.
Did he... I don't know if he sent more, but I saw in the episode he put 3 or 4 shadows. He put 3 or 4 of them in shadows. He
put one shadow on each of the Japanese ones, and he already had one on each of the South Korean hunters.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But sorry, go on.
We're talking about the man who aura farms with his shadows at night and just sends them around to stop crime casually.
True.
But no, he could switch places with the shadows. We already know he's going to whenever like the it's already begun. the best introduction to a threat that they can't handle, but he's going to have to be the one to handle it, has already happened. Like, the moment that dude's head just got sliced, it was already on.
You know, I hated that too because I was like, damn, I wanted to see more of that character.
Nah, we're gonna introduce really powerful characters for you, and we're gonna kill them off just as fast to keep the power scaling.
So, okay. I have a prediction, and I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Huh.
That fucking bug is gonna kill a couple more people, and then it's gonna run to the mainland, where Jinwoo has to fight it himself.
Wrong.
Damn it. So does he fight it? Does he fight it on the island?
Yeah.
Okay, then opening is an 11 out of 10, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Because it shows him fighting the bug in the city. And I was like, I hope that's not a fucking spoiler. And it's not.
Nope.
So opening
Yeah,
11 out of 10.
Indeed. I love the series. It is truly going exactly where I knew it was going. And I love every second of it.
I don't know if you've been seeing the I don't know if you've been seeing the conversations people are having on Twitter though. It's literally just people that are new to it going like, man, this fucking story has no substance. It's literally just a dude aura farming, and then all the other actual solo leveling fans who have like read the webtoon are just like, no fucking shit, that's what you signed up for, brother.
it didn't
I do think it's kind of stupid to say solo leveling doesn't have a story though, because I think the story's actually pretty coherent. It's it has a much better story than In Another World, my smartphone.
The best part is that we haven't actually gotten to the actual story yet. That's our problem, is we're not at the story yet. Truthfully,
we're in the prologue.
We've been dealing with side objectives up until now. He's just been gaining power. But yeah, no, I can't wait. We'll probably finish up on Jeju Island, or we'll finish up with a clash between him and that S rank. I'm hoping it's that one. I hope it ends with that, because I would love that to be the end. Just so we can start with new problems going on in the world. I don't know how many episodes they're going to make the actual island itself. It would make sense for them to make 2 be the actual island, and then 1 of him going back to the mainland to fight the one dude and also heal the one dude's dad, who also has the mana sickness.
So wait, hold on. We're on the next episode that comes out is going to be 11, right?
I think
or
so.
10, excuse me. I think it's 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if they are doing like a normal schedule, then it should be, we should have 2 more episodes. So them doing the island fight for 2 episodes and then the final episode is the resolution would make sense. Unless they do 13 episodes, in which case everything is fucked and I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's very fair, honestly.
Hey, once solo leveling's anime is the season's over though, you can start watching ReZero again.
Go back to those wonderful long episodes. Yippee!
Hey, unless you just watch the normal version, not the director's cut.
Actually, this is kind of weird because the last season of Solo Leveling was 13 episodes.
Yeah, because remember episode 13 was literally just like
Oh yeah, never mind.
cliffhanger
It was
for season 2.
Yeah, sorry. It was 1 through 12, and then okay, so we should have 24 episodes. We should have 24 episodes, so we should actually have 3 more episodes coming out.
Sounds good.
If we have 3 more episodes, then the first 2 are going to be the Jeju arc, and then the last one, if they do a 24th episode, will be them probably wrapping up a couple of quick things. And for anybody who's like, oh, it sounds like a spoiler to say his dad's gonna get one of the holy waters, we all saw him get 5 of those fucking things, 6 of those fucking things.
I actually didn't know that. Damn.
It's in the episode.
Oh, I mean, I knew about him getting a bunch of holy water. I didn't know his dad was gonna get one though. I also don't know why his dad needs one. So
You see him affected by it in one of the episodes. It actually shows him like passing out for a greater period of time. You know,
that was after the fight with Dickhead, right?
I believe so.
Okay, because that I
It was
don't exactly remember that happening, and I think it was because of everything else going on. Because that episode had a lot of shit in it.
It was right after him saying that he wasn't actually going to be staying with his dad or supporting the company, and that he was actually going to go with Jinwoo into his hunter.
Oh, I was thinking of Jinwoo's dad, not. Okay.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
other
complete
guy.
sense now.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, his buddy from the when they were hunting together.
His fucking little brother, yeah.
Yeah.
Quote unquote little brother.
Yeah. But yeah, we see his dad affected by the sickness, and it doesn't sound like a too far of a leap or anything. Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. Already parts of the story. Anyways, we can stop talking about anime now. Did you guys well, actually Kazu told me, oh no, we should do Kazu's best topic first. How much did you guys talk about Death Stranding while I was gone?
We talked about Silent Hill, and we didn't talk about Death Stranding until. Yeah, we just didn't talk about it because you got back before then.
Oh.
Yeah, bro didn't watch the trailer yet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because you were back
Bro.
while I was watching the Silent Hill trailer.
Bro.
Throw it on.
Wait, shouldn't I
Bro.
not watch this because I haven't played one?
I mean, you can watch it. You won't even know what's happening.
I mean, to
Nobody
be
that's
fair,
watched it knows what's happening.
hold on. To be fair, every Kojima trailer, does anybody know what's happening?
Yeah, this is true.
I finished Death Stranding 1 7 times, and even I don't know what's happening in this trailer.
The fucking curse of knowledge, or I guess a lack thereof.
And let me get that trailer for you.
Ooh, this is definitely looking suspicious.
Alright, now come back to me in 10 minutes when you watch it all.
Oh god, it's only 4 minutes.
Hold on, I gotta.
Oh, wait,
see.
is it-
You're watching
Oh,
the
is
wrong
the-
trailer then, buddy. The
Oh,
newest.
no.
You're watching the one from 2022.
Oh no, I'm only watching the worst one. Oh shit. Hold on, give me a second.
The
This
newest
is-
one's a whole new can of beans.
This is almost a full anime episode of fucking trailer. Wait, what? Why is this comment says "fuck it, bring Solid Snake"?
Oh, you'll see why.
Dude, there's a Rex in here. There's like so much about
What?
this.
Is it like his voice actor, or is it David Hayter?
Oh, yeah.
No, you'll see. Just watch it.
God.
You'll know the moment when it comes.
Here, let me.
You know what's fucking hilarious? I just like skimmed through it with my mouse, and there is so much fucking shit in this trailer. I genuinely don't even know where this would be at.
If it's gonna be the same case as the first game, this is all cutscenes from the first 2 hours of the game.
What the fuck?
Isn't what we can only infer from this game is like building the connections was awful. That was the wrong decision.
Yeah, pretty much.
We fucked it up.
Because the first one's all about being like in a pandemic and connecting to people online. And now this one's like, why do we connect?
Someone said two things that stood out to me. That's the most realistic baby I've ever seen in a video game.
Everybody was talking about that. I'm like, I guarantee you, Kojimbo got the baby in the suit.
Alright, Kazu, I'm gonna
I don't even think he used a real baby.
They just modeled a baby? Damn.
Yeah.
Alright, Kazu, I'm gonna install Death Stranding. I'm convinced.
Good.
You should have been convinced a long time ago when we told you about how wonderful and gay Metal
and
Gear is.
you know what I was a long time ago, Zach? Fucking lazy. Alright?
Yeah,
I will warn you now. The first 2 hours of the game, that's all tutorial, buddy. Once you get to chapter 3, that's where the game begins.
Well, according to Zach, that's no different from Monster Hunter.
That is no different than Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter
is no
tutorial is like 10 hours.
Ugh,
I will
I hate
say,
that we're right about this.
Monster Hunter, I appreciated the low rank in Monster Hunter Wilds more than any other Monster Hunter game because there's an actual good story now.
You know, out of everything, I'm just happy that we actually are a person in this game. Mm. They're not
I
ready
don't
for
know
my
how
hefty
Kojima does it. He makes
package.
every game look so realistic.
I think it's because he actually just goes places. Everybody else is just like, let's just get a couple of pictures and try to recreate that. I feel like I always hear about Kojima
God.
traveling to a place to go, like, get reference for it.
Zach, that is so funny you mentioned that, cause you remember when we made Iwo Jima on Roblox and we fucking made it the opposite way?
Yeah.
The mountain was supposed to be the flat part, and the flat part was the mountain.
Prime evidence. I've never just used picture as reference.
Just proving my point accurately through something.
That was the funniest I remember when we released the game, and one of the people who was playing it came up to us while we were in game looking at shit, and he was like, "Hey, you guys know that you made this wrong, right?" And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean, bro? We looked at pictures." And he was like, "Yeah, well, you see that part down there with the airstrip? Yeah, that's supposed to be the fucking mountain." I was like, "Excuse me, hold up, what?" And then after that, I was like, "You know what, Kazu? Fuck it. We're not gonna remake it." It took us like fucking a whole month to make this game. We're done.
The best part is we could have just rotated the island.
We genuinely could have, yeah. We literally could have taken the mountain and then put it over there, and then made it smaller. Oh my god. What else do we got?
I have one concern. In the first game, I was not shooting a gun as often as I appear to be shooting a gun in this game.
And how far did you make it in the first game? Did you make it past chapter 6?
Maybe.
I'll take that as a no.
I don't remember. I played too
I know
many
you didn't.
games.
I watched your playthrough. You didn't
How-
make it past much.
How dare you use
So-
factual evidence of the last time you saw me play?
So all I
against
have to
me?
do is play more of the game than Zach did.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. After you get past chapter 6, it's basically just all action and movie.
That's every
Oh,
Metal
so
Gear.
wait, it's Metal Gear Solid 4? Or I guess 5?
No. Metal
Maybe
Gear
5.
Solid 4 was all movie and then 2 minutes a game.
Yeah, I think 5 is probably more accurate. Because
Kojima
5 is literally,
would
here's a
rather
cutscene, now
your-
go fight.
Kojima would rather you watch a video of your character do something cool than attempting to have the character or the player do something cool with their character.
Hmm.
You can't trust
This
him
is the
enough.
only game where I can beat the shit out of somebody with a suitcase.
That's very true though.
And then I can drop kick them from a mile away.
I fucking love that video. It was so good.
And then I can throw a cum grenade.
Oh, Ludwig back in here. Oh,
Damn.
He's always been here.
I know. I'm just saying because he's a really good composer and everything. I love his music whenever I hear it. God, how did they get those noses so real while they were smushing their faces? It's adorable for them to to buckle up a doll man.
I have a theory about the doll man and how you don't get him till later in the game because there's a cutscene where you see the guy that the doll's based off of.
Dude, I was listening to Castle Super Beast earlier, and they were saying so many stupid Metal Gear style theories about what's gonna go on in the game, and I couldn't listen anymore because I'm like, all of those are possible.
Yeah, every theory I've like concluded with everyone else I've talked to about so far has been like, it's all possible at this point.
Anything's possible.
We got Solid Snake back. It's possible now.
It just man, I can't forget my ex. It's so hard.
I think you forgot to mention legally distinct Solid Snake.
No, it's even worse because he mentioned how this actor specifically would make a great Solid Snake earlier on, I think last year.
Nope, in 2020.
In 2020? Oh my god, it's even worse.
Yeah, he said if this guy put on a bandana, he'd look like a one-for-one replica of how he imagined Solid Snake would look.
Mm. Um,
Did you guys see that horror game about the monster who sees you through your webcam?
sorry, I'm just thinking about how every single time I can't tell whether Kojima is doing absolute genius or unbelievable hack type shit with his games. And it's not even like hack style stuff towards like anything else, it's towards his own stuff. I swear to oh my god, that statue looks fantastic. Fuck.
I need that collector's edition.
Shit.
Mostly for the letter from Kojima.
I need the letter.
The horror game with that monster that can see you through your webcam seems pretty cool in theory, but I imagine that you could literally just hide beneath your desk and then fucking move your character so that the monster just never sees you and you can play the game without ever being caught.
I don't believe you.
Oh yeah?
Probably, honestly, though.
I didn't even have to say anything. You just like immediately were like, you know, you're probably right though.
You're probably right, though, honestly. If we're gonna say anything, you're probably right, though. Like, how many people are gonna try to dip out of the way of it? For anybody who needs to know as well, we're speaking about games and other game-related things. The Steam Spring Sale is up and about, so make sure you
baby.
pick up anything that you've been looking at.
Can't wait to not buy anything.
Oh boy.
God, what else do we have in gaming news? Xbox has planned out their next gaming handheld. Whoopee.
No one's gonna buy it.
And we also have indicators on the horizon that a rumored Sony PS6 is in the works.
I'm
God
not
damn it.
surprised since the next Xbox is in the works already.
True.
So we got another, what, 2 years?
Probably.
Roughly 2 years, because I think the new Xbox releases in 2027.
Let's fucking
Because they already
hope.
gave a release date out for that.
Let's fucking hope that the new console's not gonna come out and be fucking sold out, just like the PS5 was for the first 2 fucking years.
No. I'm expecting it to be sold out. What I'm absolutely going to be disappointed about is if they do all of this and for some ungodly reason, they're like, how can I put this accurately? They make more than 5 games for it. I feel like
know-
we just didn't have a lot of titles for the PS5 that really grabbed me.
At this point, when I think of
I
consoles,
blame Jim Ryan for that.
yeah. Also, at this point, when I think of consoles, I just think like this is a cheaper alternative to just building a PC that can play like everything.
True.
So it's just like, you know, whatever.
My greatest theory is that we should just have an OS of the gaming console on our PC to play all the games that we have from that console.
Mm.
They should just be expanding out their libraries from the past to create a digital catalog so people can play anything from their past all the way to like the PS1 all the way to now. But that would be a lot of effort and be really cool, and a lot of people would appreciate it, and I know they wouldn't do it.
You know, PlayStation has that. It's called PlayStation Now.
But it's not that like expansive. They're expanding it consistently, which is nice. But
If it's called
They
PlayStation
could-
Now, then why don't I have it now?
because you don't spend money on anything you don't see the value in.
Yeah. Zach, do you have repo?
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I have a repo.
Yeah, you didn't play with us a couple days ago, like 2 days ago. Goober. You should.
Well, yes.
We need to play it.
Correct.
We need to play it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. When are we playing it, boys?
I don't know when. What are we doing after the podcast? Are we playing repo? We still have so many topics to go.
I told you we had a lot of topics, and you were like, "Do we? Do we really?"
Yeah, but you didn't have any at the time, and I went and grabbed a bunch so we could continue talking about them.
How many more? Okay, how many of them are like fucking topics no one gives a shit about? Like, holy shit, Tim the Snail fucking traveled 2
7,
feet.
8, 9.
We have 9 topics, and all of them, well, 2 of them were like together, but like 9 topics.
Okay. Now answer my question. How many of them are things that no one cares about?
Oh wait, hold on. That's just a tab that has random other tabs open on it, so that didn't really count. Everybody cares about all the other ones, though.
Alright, I swear to God, if any of them mention Ubisoft, if any of them mention games that came out fucking 14 years ago,
Okay.
except for Crash Bandicoot, or I get maybe remakes. Okay, hit me with them. Let's see if we
Okay.
care about them.
All right. Scopely acquires Pokemon Go
No one gives a
developer
fuck.
Niantic and developer purchase for $3.5 billion.
I heard
I
Pokemon
think
Go,
it's
no one
actually-
gives a fuck. Actually, that's probably actually I might give a fuck because that means they might fix the game.
So, Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter now have been and their development teams have been acquired by the company behind, if I'm remembering correctly, hilariously enough, Monopoly Go.
Alright, never mind. We're cooked. Let's move on.
They're behind such hit games as Yahtzee with buddies
Oh my
and
god.
WWE champions.
They're a Saudi Arabian company, and I thought it was an actually really interesting buyout because I was just like, is Niantic just like, fuck it, let's just get these other games away from us? Honestly, they said it mostly in a way that they were planning on shutting down the game soon in their own eyes, and for them to continue living on, and this was probably the best way to continue having them continue on. Nothing?
I don't care
Remember
about mobile
Pokemon Go?
games.
Oh my
Like,
god,
hey
but
man,
Pokemon Go was like a cornerstone. Everybody was getting out and actually doing stuff, and
The
now,
key word there, Zach, was.
yeah, it's
And
Nobody's
because
doing that now.
Because you know
it's
what
because there's
killed it? You know what
yeah,
killed it?
society.
No, bad
Everybody
updates.
yells at each other whenever anybody's outside. That's why nobody's allowed to go outside anymore.
No, you know what
You know,
killed
Zach,
it? Bad
it's also funny
updates.
you mentioned that everyone was going outside, but I remember you had a jailbroken version of it where you just caught Pokemon without leaving your house.
We don't need to talk about anything anybody would or wouldn't do to get those Pokemon that are across the world.
The reason it died is because of bad updates and COVID happened. So people just genuinely couldn't play the game
Now, what's stopping people from playing it now?
because it's bad.
But what if it was good again?
Then
a
I
new
would be
company
playing it
acquired
right
them?
now. Are you kidding me?
They just got acquired. Give them a second. Jesus, God, you're
No,
so
right now they're still bad.
impatient. You're gonna have to start calling it Pokemon now instead of Pokemon Go. Go now. Let's see, what else do we have in the wonderful world today?
Let's talk about how the Skate closed alpha has full microtransactions in it for a game not even out yet.
Fuck that. If we want to talk about a reasonable skate game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 have been announced, and the soundtrack is a mix of wonderful classic bangers and new tracks.
How
I
does it-
find like most of the same 30 songs people play at gas stations.
How?
So true.
Okay, okay. How does this fit into the people give a fuck category?
Did you not care about Tony Hawk Pro Skater, or did you
I
suck
did.
ass apparently?
I did 15 years ago.
And you should care again because you can play it again. I don't know what you want
I
from
have
me.
Spotify
I'm excited
for all
about
the
it.
music.
But you could play Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I could have played it before.
But you could play it again now in remastered form.
With Tony and his
You're
cock.
right. You're
Tony
right.
Hawk
Okay, you know
Pro
what?
Skater.
Remastered does make it have a little bit of
Tony
I give a
cock
fuck
pro
energy.
stroker.
Okay.
listen, like I understand like we're arguing here about but truthfully, I care about remasters of actual decent games now.
Oh no,
And as
no,
long
I
as
agree
they're-
with you.
Yeah.
I thought you were just talking about the music. I was like,
No.
how does the music land in the I give a fuck category when people have Spotify
No, it was
and YouTube?
I was saying that a bunch of the tracks are coming back to the remaster for the new game.
Okay, so because it's a remaster, so yes, that fits in
Yeah.
the give a fuck category. Congratulations. You may
Oh,
continue.
go. All right, fair enough.
I got another one for that category. Apparently
What you got?
Bethesda's about to announce the Oblivion remake in the next couple weeks.
Ooh, that was also one of the topics I wanted to talk about.
I would actually play that.
Oh, what's that?
won't.
Another topic to give a fuck about. Ooh.
Mhm. Yep.
Honestly, it's actually kind
Here's
of
a topic
exciting.
nobody gives a fuck about. Amazon's announcing another AAA MOBA game.
Don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
That sounds like ass. What doesn't sound like ass is the fact that apparently they were actually able to port Disco Elysium to mobile.
Also, do not
It's a
give a
shame
fuck.
that the original
This-
developers are not.
So true. That's the best part. Is I also wanted to talk about how they announced a mysterious anticipated follow-up to Disco Elysium and how it's going to be absolutely trash now that all the developers are gone. I honestly am excited because Zaum is filled with none of the original developers, and all the original developers did not go to the same studio. Like, weirdly, some of the teams split up into other studios, and now there's like 3 or 4 Disco Elysium type games being made.
That's too many.
God. It feels like I feel like that's the worst thing. Like, everybody left and said basically, "Oh, I was the reason this game succeeded. I'm gonna make my own version of it." I just hope that one of them comes out and it is a great, I guess, continuation of the style of Disco Elysium, because I would love for Disco Elysium style games to continue.
Speaking of Disco Elysium,
But yeah, did you? Yeah.
I don't know how to bring it up. I was just gonna say Power Wash Sim 2.
Oh, fair enough.
Next.
Oh God, you couldn't have said it like, "Oh, speaking of games that get down in the disco," or I don't know, like a game that sends you to Elysium. I don't know. I
No,
love
that's
Power Wash
stupid.
Sim though. Honestly, truthfully, the wonderful sounds of water just playfully hitting the side of buildings as you make them wonderfully clean is America's true pastime, honestly, because it's very satisfying. I'm excited for this. You said next, but me, Kazu, and Levi have been joking around in a couple of the levels in the previous Power Wash. It's been a good meme.
It is pretty funny. I hope they
Uh,
actually fix the multiplayer so on the finish a map you freaking invite people.
That's the worst part. You can play with 2 people on the map for the first time, but any more than that, that's not allowed. You have to do the map beforehand, and it sucks. Uh, Honestly, for a game we don't care about because it's fallen so deep, but it's interesting that they're making them a killer. Tokyo Ghoul's Ken Kaneki is the next killer in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Honestly, a weird choice. Like,
I thought so
I would
too,
have,
just because like he's the main character and he's also an anti-hero.
yeah. Like, out of everything, I would have
I guess I'm
expected
not really
him.
surprised since they have Attack on Titan in the game.
Yeah, it's so weird for Kaneki though, because the only time he's quote unquote bad is when he loses control, and
Yeah.
his game version is he just never comes back to reality. He's just always losing control, which I feel like doesn't really fit his character, but you know,
I guess it's an influence of that wonderful force in Dead by Daylight that we all know about because it's such a great story and game.
wait, what? I didn't hear you.
Nothing, don't worry. I was just
Oh,
shitting on Dead by Daylight for a second thing.
I see. It's cool though.
Uh,
Like, I
I
mean, there's gonna be people who are fucking losing their mind over it, and I think that's all that
I
matters, to be honest, because they already have Springtrap in the game, so who gives a fuck what else they put in?
I feel like where Dead by Daylight probably missed the point was they should have played a lot more with the killers and their maps and not make it so you could switch the maps between killers. Like you select a killer and you get their map because it has advantages to that killer.
Dead by Daylight's such a weird game. Nobody plays it for the gameplay, they just play it because of all the collabs.
Right.
The gameplay has never changed once.
And it's terrible gameplay.
I fucking hate that game. Genuinely.
And the gameplay in that game was like actually tragic.
It just promotes so much toxicity among the community. Like the
That's the
entire
worst.
it's either you pick survivor or a killer, and then half of the community hates you, and vice versa. It's fucking
And if you play with your friends and you can speak to each other, then the game becomes practically trivial because you can coordinate where the actual killer is.
Also, don't even get me started on balancing. That game has had trouble balancing since conception.
Yeah, that game will never be balanced.
Honestly, that's the most frustrating part because the original concept was so cool and had so much promise to it, and I feel like it just pitter-pattered out. There, third example. On top of Assassin's Creed, Dead by Daylight. Somebody can make killers work. Chef's kiss to you.
Someone did make Killer's work. Did you forget Friday the 13th?
That game was fun.
Every single time I think of Friday the 13th, I think of the one clip where they bash Jason California Girl starts playing as they start dancing in front of
Let's
him. It
see.
gets me every
If
time.
Survivors could do that and Dead by Daylight, it'd be a better game.
If you could
The
kill
Survivors
the
literally
killer,
cannot fight back. They get a flashlight and that's it.
that's the only thing that made Friday the 13th better, because though you may have had to go through such a complicated means to kill Jason, you still had the ability to kill Jason. Ah.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like if you could at least stun the killer for more than like 1 second from blinding him with a flashlight, it'd be better.
If I also just feel so bad for each of the killers because I just go to default killer location plus fog every single time you go to any of the locations. It's a barn or a corn maze or a house or a street.
Yeah, the maps are never like exciting either. The only one I thought was cool was the Silent Hill one because of all the Easter eggs.
I feel like if you could go around, yeah, exactly. I feel like if you could go around and as the killer go through sequences in the location and you could activate like certain things, like if you could activate certain moments, like if you were getting into an elevator and you were Pyramid Head, you could just pry it open. That'd be amazing.
A lot of missing potential.
Yeah, there's so much missing potential with the coolness behind killers in their natural environment.
Can we also talk about how they did the graphical update shit, but they didn't even bother to make it so that the gore that the killers cause on the character actually looks good? Like in that trailer with Kaneki, he literally tears the character apart, but they're not even covered in blood. They're just kind of sitting there on the ground. I was like, "Oh, brother."
I'm happy they've made changes to like blood points and merits and stuff to make it easier for people to just unlock those permanently and stuff. But it still feels like so many of the facets of the game could just be made or reworked into a better experience overall.
You would think they would have made it a better experience after, hang on, how long has it been out? It certainly feels like 2 decades now.
It's definitely like a 2014, 2015 game, right? 2016.
Yeah, 2016. So after
Oh,
nearly 10 years, and they still haven't got this game into a good state, that's crazy.
hey, revisiting when should online games end? Do you think 10 years is
I think they should end when people stop playing them. When they're no longer,
I'm actually curious how many people are even
valuable.
playing this right now, on Steam at least.
Go to the Steam charts, let's crucify them.
30,000 people
That's impossible. That's more people than the
with a
finals.
24-hour
How
peak of
could
nearly
they?
40,000.
The finals has more gameplay than Dead by Daylight. How dare they?
If anything, I
Wow.
feel like that says more about the finals than Dibida.
My oh, also going back to Wilds for a second, I did defeat Zoshia.
Oh, let's go. How was it?
It was I first go, no problems. Wiped it the fuck off the face of the earth. Cool fight. Great. Awesome cinematic moments.
Did you like the aura farming that your character does?
Yeah, just like fuck it, let's do it the other way.
Fucking Alma's like, now watch Nata. This is what hunters do best. As you're just walking to fight God.
Yeah. And it's even funnier as God actively hates you.
Yeah. Also to prevent further spoilers, because I mean I don't think any of this information is really telling of anything, but Kazu, have you fought the final boss yet? In Wilds?
What rank is he?
Low rank?
No, I'm in high rank, so probably.
Yeah. I was about to
You
say,
you
last
beat
time
the
I saw
story,
him, he
right?
was at.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so Kazu fought Zoshia. Sick.
I saw his hunter rank last time. It was 11. There's gotta be.
Oh,
I was like,
okay,
there's
yeah.
no way he
Because
didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't go above 10 until you kill Zoshia. So,
Yeah.
um, dude, I love that scene so much where you walk up to it and then you take your fucking dagger out and crush. You like hit the ice and it just shatters. And then you're just like, by my own order, I will slay Zoshia. Dude, that shit is so cool.
God.
Oh my
God,
god.
it was just too sick. It was just too cool of a moment.
Right.
Like you can't be making moments like that.
Now, the thing I fucking hate is that you don't fight it again and there's not an armor set for it. I
There.
fucking...
Hold on. No, 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 no,
Hmm.
no, no. There is. It's just not currently available in the game.
You're right, because you know they're gonna fucking bring it later on.
Yes, and you're going to be able to fight it again at that point,
Yeah.
which you're very much well aware. So your
However,
complaints will be.
no, I think my complaint is viable because it's the first Monster Hunter game where you can't fight the final
Didn't they-
boss for their armor set.
Didn't they do this with World as well?
No, you could fight Zora Magdaros in high rank. Remember we talked about this? The first time you fight him, you repel him, and then the second time you fight him, you actually... I think you kill him?
No, but I thought there wasn't a way to refight Zora Magnaros afterwards until they fix something about it.
No, you could continue to refight him in high rank.
I could have sworn there was a monster in Worlds that also had a similar problem where the stuff just wasn't in the game yet.
Trying to think what that could be. Let me look at the monsters real quick. Monster Hunter.
I could have been
World
wrong.
Base
But
monsters.
I think that's mainly the complaint that a lot of people have about Wilds is it has a lot of similar problems to how World came out. But I think that also says a good thing about the studio is that they only ever hit similar problems. But I feel like they did a better job with this one. Though I also feel like they dumbed it down a lot more in this one.
Hmm. Okay, so there's an armor set. I actually don't think Zora... Does Zora Magdaros have an armor set? Zora Magdaros armor. It does have an armor set. So you're telling me fucking Zora Magdaros has an armor set? But fucking Zoshia didn't? Why?
I'm nearly positive in the past.
Oh, Zora Magdaros is in Master Rank too, what the fuck?
Bro hasn't played World enough, apparently.
It has been like, what, 5 years?
Because you don't remember Zora Magnaros having a set, I'm pretty sure it didn't, and then they added it in later for Master Rank. Which is what they could probably do for Zoshia.
Yeah, let me see if it has a low rank,
I could
high
be
rank set.
wrong, but I mean, it probably does. They probably added the low rank and
Oh,
high
nope.
rank at the same time.
Yeah, it has an armor set in low, high, and master. It says so in the Wikipedia, at least. Because there's the Zora Beta, the Zora Alpha, and then there's the master rank set. And then Zora Beta and Zora Alpha are just what the low rank and high rank sets are called. As far as monsters that don't give armor sets, there's one for Xenojiva. There's one for like all the base monsters. The only one I can think of that might not have an armor set is the Leshen. No, wait, the Leshen was the Witcher collab, that's right. So it did have an armor set. Yeah, you fought it and you got the Witcher outfit. And that was also... it was like right before or after Iceborne? I think there's an armor set for every monster in this game, including Kultaroth. Yeah, there's an armor set for Zora, Xeno, Val, Teostra, Nergigante, Lunostra, Kushala, Kolv, Kieran, Behemoth. The Leshens, the fucking Mudfish Boys. There's one for all the Flying Wyverns. There's one for all the little baby boys like the Jagras and the Tobi Kadachi. Yeah, I don't think this game had any missing armor sets. I think what you might be thinking of was the weapons, because people hated the fucking weapons in that game. Which is the, like, one improvement that Wilds needed to do over World was make weapons actually not fucking bone weapons for, like, 80% of the weapon trees. You've probably seen that replaying World, seeing all the bone weapons in there.
Yes.
Everyone, myself included, complained about how the weapons didn't actually look as good as previous Monster Hunter games, so they fixed that for Wilds, which I'm really glad.
Anyways, the only other thing that I have to talk about this week is that Western Digital is no longer a SSD company. They have given all of their assets and everything to SanDisk.
Interesting. What implications does that have?
Probably not a lot. It was mainly my source to tell everybody that if you preferred Western Digital as your source for storage in your gaming PCs or anything, is that their technologies and development are going over to SanDisk. SanDisk is still a good storage company, but they're known more for their they still have other storage for like computers and everything, but they're mainly known for their like camera storage and things.
I see.
So they're both storage companies. It's just one is selling off their storage capacity off to a different company.
Gotcha. Okay, well, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Eh.
I hope.
And I hope it's a beneficial relationship for both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. With that,
Oh,
but
sorry, I forgot to mention this. Mabinogi's doing their 17th anniversary right now. I think I mentioned that last podcast. I'm
If you
almost
mentioned
positive
it,
I mentioned it last time.
bye.
Bye-bye.